Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for rejoining us. We are trying to catch up on time as much as possible, but thank you for being with us. I take pleasure in introducing Mr. Kostas Delaportas, President and CEO of Meadway Shipping and Trading. We talk about regulations and the EU and so many issues, but the recipients of all these regulations are people like Costas and his team, who day in, day out, hour in, hour out, are called upon to deal with all these regulations, with the problems, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So here we are to a little bit pick on Costas's brain and see what we can decipher from this complex shipping industry we are all involved in. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for the invitation. Actually, it's my second time participating in Slide2Open. I'm very glad that I'm together with you, Mr. Rupas, and I hope the audience will find our conversation very interesting and will enjoy it.
So now you're in a trap, because next year will be your third year. So
okay, I hope so. I hope so.
So you are a traditional, in the very good sense, Greek ship company, second generation, and the Delaportas name has a positive connotation in the industry. What do you think stands out about your company, and what basic principles do you follow so that you are good and successful in what Meadway does?
Of course. Okay, actually Meadway Shipping is my company, and we are ship owners and ship operators. Currently we own 11 ships with an average age of 5 years old. Our tonnage is from Kamsarmax to large Handymax, and we are considered one of the youngest fleet in Greece. We are expecting 10 new buildings to come for the next 3 years. And all the ships are coming from the Japanese shipyards. In addition to, I have created in 2010 an operating office in Singapore and Dubai of 20 people working there. And these, my two operating offices in Singapore and Dubai, we are contracting more than 3 million tons of cargo. And we are having, on the long-term time charter period from Japanese owners, 25 ships. So 25 ships on the long term plus 11 our ships, we are controlling 36 ships all together. I'm delighted also to announce you that we open in Brazil office. We're opening a new office in São Paulo in 1st of March of a team of 3 very experienced operators, as we see a lot of potential on the cargo from East Coast, South America.
So obviously, one of the reasons you're successful is because you believe in relationships. You believe in being on the ground wherever you are to do business close to wherever you are. So
yes, for sure. And my recipe of my success is instead of being a pure owner, I have created the operating activity, and this gives me the opportunity to be close with the cargo owners, and we are controlling our own cargo, which we are using this cargo for our own ships and the time charter ships. So my philosophy all this year are the cargo is the king.
There you go. Traditionally, you've ordered in Japan. You are a proponent of new building vessels, obviously in new technologies. And there's a debate that we're all having in the industry, and you're part of that debate, of course, by default. Can we economize on existing designs, existing hulls, do some slow speeding? Is that a part solution for the time being, or does the solution lie in continuing to order new tonnage? Where do you think the happy mean rests?
This is a very good question, which I have been asked a lot of times. Actually, all my new building project is been done in Japan. All my ships are the new buildings which are coming, the 10 new buildings for the next 3 years, are built with the new technology engines, Tier 3, Phase 3, and all are conventional fuel. The reason of choosing Japan only and not to go to China or Korea is that the design is the most competitive designs on the dry bulker, and they are the most fuel-efficient vessel. Just to give you a small example, we just took delivery last year, a new Ultramax coming from a Japanese shipyard, and the speed and the consumption, it's amazing. Sometimes we're mixing the speed and the consumption. We are on the slow steam, we are going with 13 metric tons IFO per day, which is amazing consumption, and it's a 40% less from the competitors' vessels. So if the charterers decides to charter new building vessels with such an efficient engine, will have a 40% less CO2 emissions.
On your existing ships, though, can you be equally competitive, you think, in making them in your own ways competitive?
For sure. So actually we have two older ships, 2012, 2013. On those ships we have placed the fuel efficiency devices, which they have reduced the consumption by 5%. By reducing the consumption 5%, it gives you 5% less on the CO2 emission. So I will suggest to the charterers to go to a slow steaming and to use vessels with the fuel efficiency devices. We are putting fins and duct on the propeller, so we have 5% reduction.
So you would agree with some of the arguments we hear that we can come closer to our goal of decarbonizing by reducing speed and using existing good second-hand ships in an efficient way.
Especially the Japanese ships, it provides to be one of the best fuel-efficient ships. And as we have been talking, we're having slow speed at 13 metric tons ship fully laden. So, and the competition is 19-20. So you see 5 tons less on the new ships. So the charters, they have to insist on the slow speed.
Frequently it is said that shipping thrives on crises. If there's a crisis, that usually helps the shipping industry. So I think we would all be interested to hear how you view the geopolitics. We have the Suez Canal, we have rockets being fired in all directions, we have companies that are afraid to pass their ships, reluctant to pass their ships through various regions. What do you foresee for the next 3 to 6 months will be the outcome of this, and do you think that will benefit your segment? What is your read?
Of course. This is a very hot topic in our days. As you correctly say, Mr. Upas, since November 2023, when the attacks starting to see from Red Sea, many owners decided not to pass the Red Sea. And they redirect the vessel to go from Cape of Good Hope. On the beginning December, I have heard a lot of disputes between charterers and owners, which the charterers insist the owners to pass through Red Sea, but under the Cold War time and the war clause on the charter party, the owners refused. The charterers pay a lot of money, and as they have to follow owners' demands. What it will happen now? I believe the areas which will be affected mostly will be the areas with exporting cargo on the front haul cargoes, such as US Gulf, US East Coast, and Black Sea, that instead of using, the charterers using the shortest route from Suez, they have to navigate now from Cape of Good Hope. This will create extra ton mile, will create extra freight, and so it will have a very good market for the time being.
So we should send people to go buy dry bulk stock.
For sure.
Listed.
For sure. If the disruption continues more, I think that it will have a boost on the dry market, and the charterers will ask the owners and the vessels to go on the full speed in order to limit the shortage of tonnage.
Okay, great. Thank you. In wrapping it all up, if you had to give some advice as a second-generation owner, if you want to be a successful owner who has learnt the job from within and now tries to expand, what would you say are the qualities that are needed to succeed in your role as managing a shipping operation?
For me, as a ship owner and ship operator, the only thing which I'm saying, and I must say to my employees all over the world, Singapore and Dubai, work very hard. This is, I think, the best recipe for the success.
Thank you very much for this discourse. We look forward to seeing you next year.
Thank you very much. I hope so. I hope.
Take care.